Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's December 16th, 2019, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, starting out at 10:15 South African time. Out of the European Union, we have a French flash services PMI number coming out. And then at 10:30 South African time, we have a German flash services and manufacturing PMI number coming out. And then out of United Kingdom at 11:30 South African time, we have a flash services and a manufacturing PMI number coming out. And lastly, out of the United States, at 4:45 South African time, we have a flash manufacturing PMI number coming out. Now, it is the end of the year, and these PMI numbers are very important. I'm not sure how much it'll weigh into the market, but there may be some volatility later today. Now, looking at the markets, okay, we're looking at first, the currencies. We see the euro and the British pound showing some resilience after last week's massive rally. A little bit of a retracement, but showing some resilience nonetheless. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, we hit an all-time high last Friday, despite the fact that impeachment vote is going down to the House, which is going to happen this week. Okay, so despite that, Dow Jones hit 28,300-ish level. Okay, it retraced right afterwards, but that's astronomical, okay, led by the bank stocks, which is really the bread and butter and the fiber of the U.S. economy. And we're going to take a look at a couple of options there. Now, looking at the commodities, we saw gold looking for a little bit of a breakout, okay. It's solidifying, it's making its upwards trend, so it's either going to be a breakout or a fake out. But we're going to take a look at a couple of options there. And lastly, looking at the stocks, bank stocks, like I said, are strong, making all-time new highs, while Facebook is falling apart. I mean, the market is going high, and Facebook is just falling apart, so we'll see some divergence there. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're jumping here into the Euro USD at a 4-hour chart. This is what I'm talking about. We had this massive rally last week, and then a beautiful fade opportunity. Okay, this is out of one of the two symbols to trade versus the dollar. The euro has always been weaker to the dollar, okay, and it was the first one to fade, and you got that at this resistance level of 1183-ish level, 111.83-ish level. We retraced down to 111.20-ish level, a 60 pip move, but nonetheless a nice intraday trade for last Friday. Now, looking at the GBP USD, it's a different story, okay? This is much stronger. If we look at a 4-hour chart, just to give us a perspective, it did retrace, but not as much, number one. And number two, it is bouncing here, okay? So it may make a double top, may challenge this 135-ish once more. Now, with this news out that Boris Johnson will be coming in, he's going to go ahead with Brexit, full steam ahead. The markets are still digesting what the full ramifications are going to be of Brexit, okay? So just be aware of that. And so I do expect some more volatility in the GBP as we enter, okay? Now, this still has tremendous up moves to go, okay? We're right there at a previous resistance, as you can see here, okay, from where we were after our little rally after the debacle of the Brexit, okay? But we still have way to go, okay? We still have way to go, okay? This is Brexit, okay, right here in relation to where we are right now. So we still have about, 1,500 pips that we can actually rally conceivably if this does make a comeback, okay? But we are at a resistance area right here, so I do expect a little bit of turbulence right here, a little bit of a retracement, okay? If we do break above it, our next resistance level is 141, okay, which is very significant. I mean, we might have a minor resistance at this 138.20-ish level, but nonetheless, your real next resistance is this area, 143, okay? So just be aware of that. Now, looking at some of the other markets, we're looking at the commodities. Gold looking like it's setting up some sort of minor upwards trend. Now, we have hit this resistance level several times, 1480, and this is the top of the range. So you can see we're making a wedge formation. This is ascending wedge formation. Now, if it does fail to break above this 1481-ish level to challenge this 1484, then guess what? We're going to go down, okay? So keep that in mind as we enter towards the end of the year. And like I said it before, I do expect an end-of-the-year rally for the Dow Jones. And we're looking at the Dow Jones right now, just flirting about 150 points off of our all-time highs. So with that said, we're almost in our all-time highs. So keep that in mind. Okay, now when we look at the bank stocks, Bank of America close to its all-time highs. JP Morgan, very close to its all-time highs. Okay, we're looking at a weekly chart, obviously. If we look at a 4-hour chart, we'll see it receded a little bit. But nonetheless, if we look at Facebook, okay, it's a completely different story, okay? Out of all the tech stocks, it's the one that's breaking down the most. Hit this resistance at $200, and it just tanked, okay, to 193, okay? This is disconcerting. This may mean that there'll be a rotation in the markets. Facebook is going to lose some of its luster. Could be because of what's going on with Libra, some of the regulatory regulations that are going to be imposed on them as well. So these are all things that are chiming into the price. Now, when we look at Apple, though, all-time highs, 274. Okay, when we look at Microsoft, also close to its all-time highs at 154. So these stocks are really strong. So, you know, it could be just isolated with Facebook. Just be aware of it, okay? But it seems like something is going, another thing is going, the rotation are still happening, okay? So as we enter this week, we're almost 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks really to the end of the year. So with that said, okay, a little bit of caution, but we may rally into the end of the year. I'm still biased about that, so just keep that in the back of your head. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.